What's good? It's your boy Zachary Carroll, aka Pastor Z, and this is Christian Hood Talk, where we help you apply the Bible to all of life's craziness. What are the top 5 skills that every man must master? If you are a man and you want to have any semblance of a successful, peaceful life, you must. It is essential, absolutely essential that you master these 5 biblical spiritual skills. And we're going to talk about them today. Skill number 1, following wise counsel. Opinions and advice are like belly buttons and buttholes. Everyone's got them. And you need to be able to decipher what is wise counsel and what is bad advice. Proverbs 15:22, without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, there is safety. If you want a successful marriage, you should probably have some men in your life that have a successful marriage, a marriage that has lasted longer than 10 years and there's no abuse. If you want more money, you probably should be hanging out and listening to people who manage their money well. If you want to get in shape, you probably should be hanging out with people who are already in shape. You will learn so much more from those that have gone the path you're trying to go before you and have had success, rather than people who are with you trying to gain success, or people who have tried and failed miserably. Failure is not the meaning of wise counsel, but if somebody has failed at something and they gave up, you should not use their advice for your life. Skill number 2, you must master your emotional expression, specifically anger. Fellas, in my life, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of men lose everything because they didn't know how to control their expression of anger. Proverbs 25:28, he who cannot control his temper is like a city without walls. He has no protection. He is vulnerable. I have seen so many guys throw away their careers, their opportunities, even women in their lives because they cannot control their expression of anger or frustration. Men must maintain a masculine frame. Masculine frame is a state of being calm and being controlled and collected. That is what marks a man worth his salt, or a biblical alpha male. Is a man that can stay controlled in turmoil, in tough situations, and during confusion. You cannot lose the control of your own emotions. That is when you are weakest. If you ask any boxer, if they allow themselves to get angry during a boxing match, everything goes out the window. All of their training, all of their skills. In order to properly analyze any situation, you need to be calm. You cannot allow women, you cannot allow other men, you cannot allow situations, you shouldn't allow anything to knock you off of your masculine frame. You're being calm. Because if you do, if you consistently allow yourself to lose yourself when you get angry or frustrated, you will be controlled by everybody around you. You'll be controlled by your woman. You'll be controlled by your boss. You must maintain a calm frame. Now, what I am not saying is don't get angry. I'm not saying don't get sad. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel your emotions. I'm saying you need to control your emotional expression. Honestly, it's really a simple way for anybody to tell if you are a man or you are a boy. Boys get upset when they get frustrated. Boys lash out when they don't get their way, or when people aren't acting according to what they want them to do. You don't need to do all that. In fact, you must not do all that. You will not be able to apply any of the skills you've learned, any of the advice you've gathered, anything that you could use to promote your own success completely goes out of the window when you're overcome, when you're drunk with anger. And trust me, when somebody realizes they can't do anything to piss you off, they can't do anything to upset you, to move you off of your masculine frame, they respect you more. People don't respect boys, they respect men, and men stay calm and collected during tough times. Skill number 3, avoid sexual temptation. 1 Corinthians 6:18, the Apostle Paul states that every sin is outside of the body, but sexual temptation, sexual sin, is a sin against your own body. You are harming yourselves. If there is anything easier for a man to fall into, it is the trap of sexual temptation or lust. Be it pornography addiction, be it fornication, be it adultery. You might even get caught up in the Me Too movement if you do not know how to control your sexual desires. If the key to the success of a man is his mind and his ability to reason, the door to his downfall is his penis. David, Solomon, Samson, all great men of God. Each of those men, their greatest failure was their inability to control their sexual desire. With David and Bathsheba, he committed the only egregious sin really in his entire life. The one thing that God had to punish him for. David saw Bathsheba and saw that she was pretty and called him to her and had sex with her. She was the wife of one of his soldiers, Uriah. David eventually plotted to have Uriah killed because of his sin. Solomon, the wisest man in the Bible, he prayed for wisdom, for godly wisdom. His wisdom was known throughout the entire land. He started marrying other women, and those women were worshiping other gods, and it led his heart astray. And he knew that was against God's law. A king was to be the husband of one wife. Each of these great men, some of the greatest men in the Bible, their number one problem, their Achilles heel was women. When you chase women your entire life, you will end up broke, insane, and useless. Your bank account will be empty. Your marriages will fail. Even as you're dating, if you're dating with the sole purpose of having sex, if that's the number one reason why you're dating, I guarantee you your dating life will eventually get extremely chaotic. Skill number 4, contentment. True strength is endurance during time of struggle. True wisdom is patience through the confusion. True riches is contentment with what you have. The love of money is the root of all evil. And what's worst of all, you will never be fulfilled. You will never be satisfied with your life. Those who love money never have enough. Those who love women always want to move on to the next one. Philippians 4:13, Paul was in prison and he didn't have a lot of food. He stated that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's a very famous scripture that's probably on everybody's body as a tattoo. But what that really means is I can have a lot and be happy, and I can have a little and be happy. And for any man that has a lot of money, any man that has had any success in their life, they have learned the art of being content with what they have. Because if you are consistently trying to get more and more and more, you're consistently trying to move on to the next one, there is no peace. I can't tell you how many men I have talked to that are making over $200,000 a year, $150,000 a year, but they just don't feel fulfilled. Like, money is not going to lead to your peace. This is why Jesus said, don't treasure the things of this world that pass away. Treasure the things in heaven. It just changes your whole life when you learn how to be happy and content with a little. I guarantee you, if you do not learn the art of contentment, you will be dissatisfied for the rest of your life. And finally, humility. Now, fellas, if there's one thing that I see consistently and I get plagued with my own self, is what Jesus said about humility. He who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. It also says in Proverbs that honor always comes after humility. From talking about yourself too much, to overestimating your own abilities, to thinking other people care about you more than themselves. When you think like this, you will eventually be brought down. Somebody's going to let you know that, you know what, they don't really care about you as much as you think they should, or you probably thought they did. If you overestimate your own skills, somebody is going to come and show you that you ain't all that. You don't know all that you think you know, and you can't do all that you think you can do. It's only through humility that you are able to level up yourself. You got to recognize that, you know what? I don't have it all. I don't know it all. I can't do it all. So I want to get better. This is like a natural law. This is the law of God, which is a natural law. you will eventually be humbled by somebody or some circumstance. If you think that your money is going to protect you in every circumstance, something's going to happen that will make you lose all your money. If you think that all women love you and think you're the best, you're going to eventually meet a woman that going to think you weren't nothing. If you think you're the biggest, baddest, and strongest, you're eventually going to meet somebody that's bigger, stronger, and faster than you. It's always best to have the mindset that, you know what, I ain't all that. And for you to train yourself so that you can be lifted up in due time. Honestly, if there's any one of these skills that in my life there's a consistent reminder, it's humility. Anytime I think myself to be greater than I am, anytime I think I'm better at something than somebody else, God has a way of putting things in your life, people in your life, to remind you that you ain't nothing and that you ain't as good as you think you are. Now, you should not think that you are worthless. You should not think that your life has no meaning and nobody loves you. That's too far. The art of humility is recognizing that you are not all that and that you don't know it all, you can't do it all, but being confident in who you are and what God made you to be and do. What do you think? Do you think these 5 spiritual skills will help you in your life? I'd love to dialogue with you down in the comments. Well, that's all I got for you. My name is Zachary Carroll, aka Pastor Z. This is Christian Hood Talk. Y'all be cool. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Bro, sis, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Go ahead and hit that bell as well so you never miss a video.